It's the largest man-made structure in the world, built entirely out of Lego bricks! Now, you might be wondering, is such a structure actually possible? It's a question I had in my mind the first time I saw the Lego store outside of Disneyland. I knew Legos were strong, but I couldn't believe these giant structures were standing on the strength of little plastic bricks. As I stared into Lego Hulk's eyes, I wondered, what is truly possible? But it turns out the Hulk wasn't just made of Lego. He was also made of lies.
Are these large models glued? You're sitting on the motorcycle.
Yes, they are glued. They are glued. They are glued. We make sure they're glued really well so you can't pull any of this apart.
I've learned that large Lego structures, like the ones you find at Legoland, use reinforcements like glue and internal steel rods in order to stay erect. And while technically impressive, these are not the freestanding Lego structures I believed them to be. The Lego brick makes a promise. If you can imagine it, you can build it. But from what I've seen, no one has put their faith into that promise. So my question is, what is the limit of the Lego system? What if we used only Lego bricks to build a giant megastructure? How long would it take? How much would it cost? What heights could we reach? And what destruction would we see if we failed? Whoa! I think I used some Mega Blocks. These are the two original Lego bricks. They were included in the first set released by Lego in 1949. At the time, however, they were called automatic binding bricks. They were mostly the same as the modern Lego we know and love, except for one critical factor. They were missing these internal tubes. It wasn't until 1958 that the stud and tube principle was patented.
Lego, the sensation of Europe, build hotels, skyscrapers, and more.
This innovation offered far more structural integrity and completely changed how you can stack and combine these bricks. In fact, if you have 6 2x4 Lego bricks, there are apparently 915,103,765 different ways to combine them. I found 6. But one of the first ways that any kid will try to build Lego is simply one over the other, stacking them up as high as they can.
This is my guess. I'd honestly be surprised if we even make it this high. This is not making it north of the nip. I'm telling you right now.
Oh!
It's pretty short.
No. You're just too high. Come down here and say that to me.
Can I put one on?
Dude, I swear, I need you to lock in, okay? Please don't ruin this for me. Yes!
You want to place a brick?
Celebrity shot?
You want to do a brick?
Matt, you're up. I want you to get our tower a little bit higher, huh? We're already at the limits of what is humanly possible.
Is it only?
It was easy! I can keep stacking this thing all day long.
We're at like sternum. We're at like
Whoa!
sternum.
It is north of the belly button. It's north of belly button.
Belly button right there.
Don't get a close up of that. Stack it up.
Yes.
Stacks on stacks on stacks.
Whoa!
The Brick Khalifa, baby!
Look at that. That's direct areola contact.
Areola. Hey guys, how about this?
Is this the tallest vertical stack ever built, you think? I think we can go a little higher.
Definitely. Let's see if we can get a couple more on there.
This thing.
Support the shaft. Thank you.
Oh! One more.
This is the killer.
Matt has the calmest hands, okay? He's got this, I believe.
What's so Didn't even get to finish the song.
So clearly a single stack of Lego does not have that much structural integrity. But you know what is stable? A square. Space. Today's sponsor. You see, building a website is just like building with Lego. You just need the right set of building blocks. And with Squarespace's flexible website templates, that's never been easier. It's like the ultimate Lego starter set. You get a stunning, professionally designed foundation that looks great right out of the box. But you have complete freedom to make it your own. You can change the colors, move entire sections, and add new features with just a few clicks. Ow. That actually hurt. Then there's Squarespace's design intelligence. By asking a few simple questions about what you want to achieve, it helps generate beautiful design options, color patterns, and font pairings that are tailored specifically for you. And once you've built your amazing creation, you'll want to share it with the world, right? Squarespace's integrated online stores make it super simple. You can showcase your products, manage inventory, and process payments all from one central dashboard. So if you're ready to move from dreaming to building, Squarespace is waiting, my friend. Head to squarespace.com/corridorcrew to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now, let's get back to building our giant stack of Legos. For now, let's ignore all the constraints of physics. How high could we stack all the Lego in the world? Well, in 2008, Lego estimated over 400 billion bricks existed on Earth. And that was almost 20 years ago. Since then, they've radically increased production to the point where today, there could be somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 trillion Lego in existence. That's 125 Lego bricks per human on Earth. Can you actually pick those up? And if you were to stack those Lego vertically, you could reach the moon 25 times. Yeah, they're up there. But as we discovered, a vertical stack of Lego doesn't have that much structural integrity at all. Oh, shoot! But link just a few together, and your structure gets much more sturdy. I mean, shoot. I mean, come on. You kidding me? Oh, frick. This principle has already allowed humanity to build impressive Lego structures. The current Guinness World Record holder for tallest structure built with interlocking plastic bricks was constructed in Milan in 2015. It stood at 114 feet 11 inches or 35 meters high and used an estimated 550,000 bricks. But that's not even 1 million bricks, let alone 1 billion or 1 trillion. We could dream of something far bigger. Imagine, we've been able to unite the entire human race towards the singular goal of building the tallest possible megastructure using these guys. Well, we already have some massive structures on Earth. We can start by working backwards. If I know the dimensions of a Lego brick, I can figure out the volume of, say, the Eiffel Tower and just divide that by the standard 2x4 Lego. If we built a solid stack of Lego in the mold of the Eiffel Tower, that would be over 41 billion Lego bricks. Right now, a 2x4 Lego brick is listed on the Lego store as being 18 cents, meaning that just the material cost of this structure would be over $7 billion. But we have plenty of Lego bricks left, so how about the Empire State Building? Well, that's a radical increase. 167 billion bricks, costing a whopping $30 billion. Adjusted for inflation, that's 50 times more than the original cost. And that is just to buy the bricks. But we have even more Lego, enough to build the largest man-made structure on Earth, the Burj Khalifa. It would take 261 billion bricks to reach the 829-meter peak of the Burj, costing almost $50 billion. Despite being more than double the height of the Empire State Building, it's not double the Lego. That's because the Burj Khalifa uses a tapered design. So with this structure and the large amount of Lego we have remaining, the question remains, can we build even taller?
Jordan! The physics! Dude, at this scale, you have to take into account the physics!
Oh, not again!
So, I hear you're trying to build a Lego tower.
That's the goal. I'm trying to figure out how high we can actually build with 1 trillion Lego.
1 trillion?
Yeah, there's 1 trillion Lego in the world.
Is it Lego or Legos?
It's Lego. Lego is the plural.
Your goal is to simply find out how tall is the tallest possible tower made out of Legos.
Yes.
So the first thing to consider is the fact that regardless of outside variables and stability and stuff like that, there is a theoretical limit to how many bricks you can have on top of one another, because the more bricks you have, the more weight there is. And at a certain point, these bottom bricks are going to get crushed under their own weight.
These are quite hollow, actually, all things considered.
The contact surface area is literally just the outline of the bottom of a brick here. The stuff in the middle is not actually touching touching anything of the rest of the bricks. So if the bottom pieces start crushing, that's going to inherently make the tower unstable.
Do we know how much pressure or weight a single Lego brick can take?
Well, the answer to that is simple. You would put this under a hydraulic press and press it down, and once it actually starts crushing at that force, that's how much force would be required to crush this.
I'm sure someone's done this already.
Yes, actually, they have.
I love humans.
So someone with a hydraulic press actually did do this experiment, and it was able to get up and over 4,000 newtons of force before buckling. You basically divide that by 10 to convert back to kilograms. Technically, you divide by 9.81.
Okay, I was gonna call you out on that, so thank you for getting in front of it, because that pisses me off. Sorry.
So essentially what they were able to figure out is that you can take 375,000 bricks stacked up before the bottom one fails and squishes.
Oh my gosh, that's huge. That's north of a mile.
2.25 miles. We're talking a tower that is over 2 miles tall, which is way taller than any other building in the world by like a huge factor. It really just comes down to the buckling factor, and all the problems that you're facing at this small scale, you'll be facing at a much larger scale as well.
We built a pretty impressive stack of individual bricks.
I would call it semi-impressive.
Honestly, I'd take that.
What happened to your tower was that it buckled. The sideways forces on it were enough that it was able to just like literally break a little bit, and then it was a domino effect from there. The only thing literally holding them together is just the squeeze force of the little circles on top inside the gaps on the bottom. So there's not actually that much force holding them together. That's by design, so you can take them apart. If you're trying to take two pieces like this, you don't have that much torque to be able to pull it apart. But when you have a tall piece like this, the piece itself acts like a lever. You have a lot more leverage to bend and break it.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
So that's why when you get a really tall piece like this, it gets easier and easier to break. And that's just going to continue getting easier the taller it gets.
So how would you account for that?
It's all about that aspect ratio. If you want it to be taller, you have to also make it wider. People building tall towers, they try to keep an aspect ratio around 5:1, if not 10:1.
Oh wow.
Meaning it's 10 times taller than it is wide.
Okay.
If you start going above that, it can start buckling. Okay, let's say you could magically take all the Legos in the world, right? And you make something that is 3.5 kilometers tall by 350 meters wide. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many bricks that would be, but in theory, that could work.
If we maintain our 10:1 aspect ratio and we have enough bricks, we have a chance.
In theory, that could work. In theory, that could work. Are there enough bricks in the world to even do that?
What? No, we're out of Lego, but we're only 36 meters high. That's like a measly 10-story building. That's nothing. But we don't have enough of these dang plastic bricks. Plastic. Since 1963, Lego bricks have been manufactured from ABS plastic, which is also used for many other toys, protective gear, and electronic housings. ABS is a thermoplastic, meaning you can melt and remold it. So, what if we took all the ABS plastic in the world and converted it into Lego? Well, there's an estimated 359 megatons of ABS plastic on Earth, which should take only 2,000 years to run through the old Lego pipeline, leaving us with 100 trillion Lego. Oh gosh, okay. Oh, just one more and then I'm done.
Here's the thing.
No.
You can make it over 2 miles tall before the bottom one squishes, but you're gonna have a dozen, if not hundreds of other factors bring it down before this.
No, Ren, no, not now.
Right now, we're just considering the strength of the bricks and not the strength of the foundation underneath the bricks, or the wind and the forces hitting the side of the building, forcing it out of alignment.
No,
See, the real Achilles heel here is the Lego brick itself. You can only manufacture these to be so accurate.
No, it's just one brick, just let me put it down.
When you start making it super, super long, those imperfections compound. They add up.
I don't know how much more this can take, stop!
This is a quote from the actual Lego engineers. A 3.5 kilometer tower would have to be built so straight that it was no more than 2 millimeters off center at the midway point. A 3.5 kilometer tall tower cannot have a center of gravity that sways more than 2 millimeters from the center. There isn't a chance you could do it in reality. Long before the brick fails, the tower would fail as a structure itself by buckling. That's what I'm saying. Building tall buildings is a very, very difficult science. And you're talking about doing something 4 times longer with toys.
I hate you! Ah!
So you're saying it's impossible?
Of course. I'm saying it's impossible. Duh.
It's impossible. It's just not enough structural integrity. Which sucks, because I have this mountain of Lego. Wait, maybe I've had it wrong this whole time. Skyscrapers are feats of modern engineering, but we need something more ancient, more elemental. We need something that stood the test of time. The ancient pyramids we find around the world have stood for thousands of years, surviving storms, earthquakes, and every other environmental variable we're worried about. It is the sturdiest structure ever devised by man. By creating a massive base, we spread the weight outward and create a low center of gravity, keeping the center stable. And in order to build a proper pyramid, we'll have to build our first layer at almost 4 square miles. The first layer alone is 141 billion bricks. Oh, wow. Oh, come on! At 6 meters, we've already depleted all 100 trillion Lego. That's only twice the height of a regulation basketball hoop. I should have known that plastic has a precursor. You see, ABS plastic is derived from petroleum, crude oil, the lifeblood of our civilization. Everything that we use it for, gasoline, diesel, propane, fertilizer, forget all of it. If we harvest every last drop of the planet's remaining oil, every well, every reserve, every strategic barrel hidden in a desert bunker, and turn it all into ABS plastic, I estimate we'll have just enough to make all the Lego bricks we need. Not billions, not trillions, quadrillions! 17 quadrillion bricks to be precise! This bounty of bricks would only take the Lego company 342,000 years to produce, costing about 40 times the global GDP, leaving us with the tallest possible Lego structure. To call it a pyramid would be a disservice. It's Lego Mountain! 4 times taller than the Burj Khalifa and just shy of the peak of Mount Fuji. It's our greatest creation. It's perfect. If only anyone were around to see it!
They only saw the Lego's flaws, their imperfections. But this little brick, it never lingered on our shortcomings. It only ever saw the best in us. It saw us for our true potential, our capacity to build wonders. All it took was a little faith.
Okay. So I just climb down. So I just. If you like this video, I ask an equally important question in the one right up there. Just click that box if you want to know how fast you gotta go to jump the Grand Canyon. I figured it out, but it hurt. More than this, if you can believe it. If you don't want to watch it, then, I don't know, call for help or something. Just make yourself useful, maybe. I can taste my spine.